We all love tech review channels. Sometimes you want to buy a new phone and you need to know the specs. But what if you want to buy a new prison? Places where like millions of people are locked up and deprived of their freedom. You look at Mr. Who's the Boss, you go onto his channel, he's reviewed the most technologically advanced prison. He'll tell you the specs of this prison and whether you should buy it.
This behind me is HMP Fosse Way, and it's maybe the most technologically advanced prison in the world.
Is this stuff on like triple speed?
No, he's doing the Mr. Beast thing where you're talking to idiots.
But he's not screaming enough.
This is a real prison, and me and the boys are gonna try to survive the next 50 hours locked up here.
I think one of the cruelest things about making a video about prisons is using so many drone shots. It's like so obvious that you're not free. It's just like,
but also the fact that you can do a video about prisons but then do it in the same way. It looks like the same as every other tech review thing. This is a completely normal technology, nothing going wrong here. Whoa, YouTube.
This is not paid for by prisons. I'm just very, very passionate about this product.
So we're actually going to go through the full prisoner's journey, understand what the potential benefit of tech in a prison actually is, and then talk to a real prisoner to see the impact it's having on their life.
I'm so excited for this prisoner to say, I love this.
Oh, this was great.
This transformed my life.
The chip they implanted in my brain makes it feel like I'm back at home. I'm having a great time.
That's what we
That's
need.
actually not bad, yeah.
That's a good idea. It's like those cows that wore the VR headsets, thought they were grazing in the field. All prisoners, they get life sentences, but you
feel like you're grazing in a field.
Yeah. Maybe that's already happened to us. Maybe we're in prison. In this exact prison, we're going to see footage of ourselves
doing an interview.
I would like that.
You're about to see a lot of stuff you've never seen before. And that's courtesy of Dave, who's helped to design this prison from the ground up and knows why basically every single decision has been made.
What we're doing is we're controlling the area by having an airlock here.
This is the first point of security when you're entering, and the last point
Wait, what do you breathe when you go into prison? Is it like a different pressure, or is it underwater?
Yeah, they give you just enough oxygen so you don't have enough to survive but not enough to escape.
You stay within these striped lines. They make sure that you are who you say you are, and only one of these two doors is ever open at the same time. Now, as you can probably start to see, when you're dealing with a prison, you have to think about security on a whole other level.
He's doing like the soy face in his like animations as well. It's so embarrassing.
I don't like it that we live in this universe where YouTubers are the ones that are giving access to high security prisons, not people like Louis Theroux.
No.
It's a tech reviewer.
So he doesn't do this kind of stuff. He just looks at like iPhones.
No, that's why it's so weird. He just looks at computers. It's that typical science tech bro where you're able to detach from real meaning.
Yeah, there's no like social context. It's just like the iPhone can solve this problem for you and so can this prison.
You have a look in here and you see how many cameras are actually observing you.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this prison as a whole, there are not 50 cameras or 100 cameras, but 1,700 active cameras. All right, so then we go through the 3rd stage biometric verification, 4th stage metal detectors, 5th stage a full body search, and then this is the room where every key in the entire facility is stored. This room is so high security that you can't see anything.
How do they do that?
What?
Make a blurry room. That'd be so hard to rob.
How do you know which key you're getting out if you can't even see it?
They're all going to look like a black square like this.
We have to blur everything out here because the key design cannot leak. And if it does, or even if a single key is so much as misplaced, then the entire prison would be considered compromised. It would have to be entirely relocked, and that would cost about £2 million.
He's not really selling this system. It sounds like very, very fragile and insane.
Yeah.
You lose a key and you can cost the prison £2 million. You lose 3 keys, the prison shuts down.
But also, what's the point? You're in a big AI prison, but you're still using a manual key. Sounds like the AI is just a big gimmick.
Well, it sounds like the tech companies just like took you for a ride.
Still need the keys though.
But it's going to be more expensive when you lose them than just like replacing all the locks.
Come on through.
What's the beeping?
Telling me this door's open, and I'm not allowed to open that door until I've locked this door.
So, when you open this door, that alarm starts beeping. That alarm won't stop beeping till that door is locked because there's a sensor on the inside. You can't open that door till that stopped beeping and that's shut.
This isn't new technology. They have the same system at Taronga Zoo.
I was exactly going to say Taronga Zoo.
Yeah, to stop the pigeons from getting out.
You'll start to notice one interesting thing with all of these security measures, that it's very much not what you see in the movies, like 7 separate lines of bodyguards, but instead 7 very varied security steps, some technological, some using physical keys.
I pitch you my idea for a perfect prison. You have a pit, the walls are sloped, 45 degrees. Every single day you have a man that comes around and just pours oil on the side.
Hot?
No, not hot.
Okay.
Just
oil.
So then you try to run out. You can't.
Okay.
You keep sliding back down.
That's perfect.
It'd be great. And then all the prisoners will kind of oil wrestle at the bottom.
Oh, like Turkish guys.
And they're all Turkish.
Yeah.
In there as well. Perfect prison.
It's cheaper than this. It might get sunburn is the only issue.
It's sunscreen.
Oh, on the sides.
On the sides.
Yeah.
That's what it it is. Slippery sunscreen. It's perfect.
Once we get into the prison, it's more the general use area, the 3.6 metre fences.
Presumably, no one's going to be able to jump something even half that height.
To a certain height on the fence as well, you've got this sheeting.
And also, these are not designed with fingers getting through.
No, they're anti-climb fences.
Anti-climb fences.
I love the writing they put up. It's also funny because this guy's like quite English, so like some of the phrases he uses are so like proper. It looks so weird doing in the Americanized, like, this is quite a jolly good prison, like tick, 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 tick.
And also on all the bolts, we have to reduce them to a certain distance so they can't be used as ladders to get up as well. That's the type of thing we have to look at.
It's like the editor knew that Mr. Beast does stuff like that and words pop up. So he's like, oh, any words.
I have to do it.
So this is a 5.2 meter anti-climb fence. I'm not in the best shape I've been.
That would be such a fun video, attempting
To
to
break out of prison.
break out of prison, yeah.
Well, what the fun video would be attempting to get into prison. You do a crime for your video,
And then you get out as
and then you
part
get
of
out
the
as
same video.
part 2.
And then it's the double jeopardy.
You can't go to prison twice.
You can't go
for
to
the same YouTube video.
Exactly.
So, we're going to start at the brand new visitor center. We'll get to test what happens if you take drugs into the prison, experience being locked in an actual prison cell where the inmates live, try out the high-tech workshops, explore the secret beating heart of the jail, control center, and
We thought the same thing there. The secret beating heart.
oh, this is a lot nicer than I was expecting it to be.
If you have a look up at the cameras that are in this place.
Are you locking up children? This is a toddler's high-tech prison.
Not that high tech so far. What have you showed me? You showed me cameras.
Cameras.
We got a camera there.
I mean, the airlock was kind of cool, but why? What's the pressure difference? Like,
No. They just mean airlock as in like this is sealed and this is sealed at the same time, so there's no airflow.
It's not like if I close the door to the bathroom. That's, I'm in an airlock.
Yeah, you're in an airlock. It's not like a spaceship airlock where you like lock, all the air gets sucked out.
Okay.
The prisoners don't go and expand.
So what he's saying is it's a room.
No, he's saying there's 2 doors.
So you've got a HP computer here, and I'm assuming it's highly regulated what people can actually access on this.
Absolutely.
Well, it's well lit, and it feels very soundproof. So at least you can have the reassurance that the conversation you're having is private.
What do you mean it's private? Assuming that you're in a prison, you can say whatever you want to the person you're talking to. Man,
Like he's trying to chuck in points, but like it's actually very ethical.
it's good for the prisoner's privacy.
That's why there's 2,000 cameras
Yeah.
following them all the time.
If, for example, you were cleared to have a visit with 2 people, so your mother and father, if then a child walked in the background, it would shut down.
Wow. And it's using AI to make sure that only the people who are meant to be on the call are on the call.
Yeah.
What?
That's so dumb.
What's the child got to do with it?
He was saying a third person walked in and
Oh,
they
yeah.
said they're only chatting to 2 people.
You got to tell the prison guards every single person who's going to appear on a video call, and then you're like, sorry, you've wasted your chance to talk to the outside world this month. Your sister had a baby and you didn't tell us.
Bye-bye.
Technology is absolutely brilliant, but also some things you can't replace.
Brave thing to say on a technology channel.
And I'm going to show you that with the dogs.
Yes, he said dogs. And we're about to see why.
I love that his face is always exact. He's a completely expressionless man. That whenever they zoom in and try to be like, "Oh, I'm scared now," or like, "Oh, I'm sarcastic now," it's just him going, "Yes, he said dogs."
Okay, now the active drug dog. So what is it looking for?
All illegal substances that prison are not allowed.
Oh, we found something.
Good lad. Beth? Good boy.
So hypothetically, that dog could be trained to find my iPhone.
Yes.
And then the fourth and final,
This dog, no one's allowed to interact with them. You're not allowed to get within 8 foot of them. No one asks staff or anyone.
because this is the most dangerous dog.
This is the most force that can be inflicted.
Right, so just to be clear, this dog can inflict the most force that can be inflicted, and I should be 8 feet away.
What kind of statement's that?
You already said that.
Yeah, but what is the most force that can be inflicted? Actually,
No,
you're
I
an
mean-
engineer. Surely there's something out there stronger than this dog.
You know, I think he's saying compared to that other tiny mouse-sized dog that we saw.
That's not what he said. He said the most force that can.
Yeah,
be
out of the
inflicted.
4 categories of dog.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
Thing
just this
ever.
is the strongest thing in the universe.
Is there any tech involved in this process, or is it very much like manual, human, and dog? Yeah, very much human.
What are you saying? Yes, very human. Well, it's not tech. So you were a person?
What are you? What kind of phone are you?
I think you are very human because you're not iPhone 10.
It's quite hard to think straight when there's an attack dog directly locking eyes with you.
Are they quick trainers? How quickly can you get over that fence, Aaron?
There should be a rule that YouTubers are not allowed to go anywhere. We shouldn't be allowed to visit anything or say anything in public
Real
with
world.
anyone because YouTubers always build up this big audience, get 10 million people watching them, think they're the best. They go into the real world and deal with someone with a real job,
Yeah.
and they just look everywhere.
Terrified of every situation. It's funny because like this guy's making a joke about killing him. It's like great, everyone loves it, and this guy's just standing here like, I hope the editor can fix this.
This man should not be allowed anywhere.
Well, he should be in prison. Like, that's a solution.
So your plan is usually to take the dog out, let it bark a few times, dissolve the situation.
We don't go out with the intention of setting the dog on someone. Absolutely not.
But there's one more part to this whole incident response. It's if something breaks out, that's
Something. Do they keep humans in there, or what's in there?
Monsters?
Monsters.
What did he just admit to us?
Oh my god, that's why it's so high tech, because there's just things in there. Love it, the dog's a human, but whatever's in there is just, who knows what the fuck that is.
Something.
Yeah.
There's also a drone. The drone is going to be thrown up into the air, scope the area from above to make sure the situation is what we think it is. So you're using a DJI,
Yes.
DJI Mavic.
Mavic 3T.
And what's the reason you've gone for this one? What is different about the Enterprise Edition?
We've got thermal cameras on this for obviously the night incidents. With this system now, because DJI is very pliable with the system we use.
Is this a sponsorship? Is this, like, the prison uses it, but why are we getting the rundown of this machine?
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
so-
I don't think it is. I think it's he's a tech bro and this is all he knows is accidentally doing sponsorships for everything.
Yeah. You know, but they probably don't even pay him anything. He's probably just obsessed with stupid products.
We can use this collaboration with our dog teams for searching for a prisoner if they've escaped. So we'd be the air support, looking ahead of the staff, and then we could guide them in and locate them into anything we find.
In a way, it's actually kind of reassuring for the consumer that even in an industry where it's so important to have the absolute best, that they're still using consumer-grade gear, in a sense, to track it.
That's the best takeaway. I'm so glad that I have a military-grade fucking drone here.
You know, I mean, like, I'm just a consumer, but if I wanted to run like a maximum security prison and like maybe imprison a bunch of my friends or children of other people's kids or anything, it's good to know that I have the option.
Everybody's perception of a prison is bars, isn't it? And you can see the barless windows.
And when you say barless windows, you mean, I guess, glass?
No metal bars, yeah, it's glass. We build to technical standards, and the technical standard for this is they have to be attack resistance for 90 minutes. We did testing on these, and we used the national resources to do it.
It's like one of your tests. Is that really how you test stuff? Just have a random guy? Like, come on. Surely that's not like a standard. And how they do it? They just get a guy?
Just a guy.
Can Jim break into this? That's the national standard.
I think that's a great standard.
If it's safe against Jim.
The barless window is not about preventing the air coming in. It's about not preventing that view, which then refocuses the brain, really. So where we have put bars and where we believe there's a need for bars, we've put the bars horizontally, and that's because they look like blinds rather than bars.
That's a specific decision you
I
made.
love that
for the-
every single like nice thing they're doing is just tricks. There's nothing good about this. It's just like, we're still doing exactly the same thing. It's just kind of, the feng shui is better in this prison than the other one.
It's horizontal sadness, not vertical sadness.
Is there a reason this is held open right now?
Yep, because you're not allowed to see the workings of the lock. A door is either locked or it's in what we call a lockback.
Why we're not using biometrics for this?
You'd have to look at the expense of them, what happens if they fail.
And then
That's just a thing against the whole prison.
Yeah, why?
He's like, the actual safest thing is not to use any of this crap.
Of course. What if there's a power outage and the generator fails?
It's just like, the whole video's a joke.
And he's just promoting a prison for no reason.
And then just before the cells, there is a recreational area. Are they free to use this at all times?
No.
So what is the purpose of that room? Just a teasing room?
They get to walk in between it. Maybe one day I'll play table tennis.
Let's go see a cell. I wasn't really sure what to expect here. There's a phone here. Who can they call with this?
So it could be family members, any individual they can put in. We risk assess them and we vet who they're allowed to call.
One of the big questions this prison is trying to answer is, how do you keep someone away from normal society for many years, but not let them forget how that society works? And so a common theme here is there are plenty of opportunities to learn, to grow, to improve, to keep in touch with your family.
He didn't show us any of this. He showed
No.
us a single phone
He chose the ping pong table as well.
that they're not allowed to use.
Yeah.
So a lot of the equipment is obviously very inexpensive, very simple keyboard and mouse. But I guess the idea is function without wasting cash.
You've got the glass, which is the strengthened glass, and you've got a polycarbonate,
You got the glass, which is the strength of glass.
where it's a lock, and that's the way they get the 90-minute attack resistance.
Okay, so I am in the cell alone. This is what it would be like.
If he does the Mr. Beast crying thing. I spent 20 minutes in a cell and I miss my mom.
Just thinking about it has me like tearing up.
I just hope he starts masturbating immediately.
That's the cells. Now for the workshops where the prisoners would go to skill up. And the idea is the prison has contacted a whole load of partner companies who work in the local area so that they can actually have employment ready for them when they get out the prison. We're
It
about to
sounds
see.
great, but it's probably just free labor.
Yeah.
It's-
Nice to
it'd be
have a
great.
job after.
Yeah.
If you have to go through all this, it's nice to be able to live a normal life after.
This is sick. You get to learn how to use a digger.
This is basically a full recreation of the inside of a cat digger. So it's made by the actual company. You've got a seat, you've got all the controls, you've got a meta Meta Quest headset, and then 3 40-inch or so screens.
Imagine that's your skill, is looking at a screen and being like, yeah, 36-inch screen right there. Give me another one. That's all you offer to the world, is saying
the size of a screen. But also, like, what's the point of the headset if you have screens? And what's the point of screens if you have a headset? Like, I don't really understand this. Is just tech guys are obsessed with the product?
No, I think it's maybe some of the prisoners are old, and if you put a VR headset on, they're going to be like, or they're going to be like, it's all fucking Vegas!
This is waking up from the Matrix. I've actually been a construction worker this whole time.
Yeah, which one's real?
Yeah, it feels like the real deal. There's even like resistance on these joysticks. So this is basically like they've taken the entire internals and electronics of a real cat digger, gutted them, and stuck them in this room with a screen in front.
I love this man. It's just amazing putting him in this fucked up place and have him like inspect all like the dumbest bits. It's like going to Auschwitz and being like, the grating they used on the sewer system is fantastic.
The architecture here, real postmodernism.
Yeah.
And very
Why
efficient.
did you choose this part of Poland? Is it because of the foliage in autumn? It's such a funny thing to do, just like hyper focused on pretty much the most boring part of a prison. Like, where do you put your keys?
Oh, it really feels like I'm in. Like the seat's vibrating, I'm feeling the engine, and that actually changes the vibrations in the seat. That's phenomenal. It's got all the physics that you would experience in a real machine.
You're telling that to a prisoner that's never been outside. Stop bragging, bro. This is what physics are like outside the prison.
In the real world.
In the real
Not
world.
this prison physics you got.
Yeah,
Everything's flying around. Once you get past that prison airlock and the physics just go...
So yeah, this is not a toy. This is an actually licensed simulator.
Oh, he's justifying why he likes it so much. No, it's not a toy. It's actually a big boy thing. I like it, but I like it because it's important.
Okay, time to head to the very heart of the operation. How is it that we have an electronic lock when we're already inside a six-step secured facility?
He told us he was going to interview a prisoner. You reckon that's going to happen in the next 2 minutes?
I think it's
Did he
a very
lie to
quick
us?
interview.
What is he going to ask?
What's your name? Paul?
What's your favorite?
There we go.
What's your favorite iPhone?
I think he's doing it because he's treating this like a tech review.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
kind of reviewing like, oh, in the first generation we had this and this and this. And like no mention of human beings or why people are in prison
That's
or
just
whether
the
this
bad
is
guys.
good.
There's no way he's going to do it. There's no time left.
I reckon it's going to be this man.
Dressed up in
Just
a wig.
dressed up in a grey tracksuit.
And I really love the warden.
And now that's done, let's find out how all this stuff has played into the experiences of someone actually serving their sentence here.
He's our prisoner.
Oh, we got him. The last minute.
Where are you roughly in your sentence?
Well, I've got 4 years left and I've done best part of 2 years.
And how are you feeling about this place as a whole?
It's not what I imagined. It's far better than what I imagined. I've done English in education. The education department was great.
And when you say you've done English, so is someone here like teaching it?
Yeah, someone's teaching English, yes.
And that's an actual qualification that you can
What
take?
language did he speak before?
I don't want to know. Some fucking murderous language.
What about contact with the outside world? Do you feel like you're able to keep in touch?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. You've got email a prisoner. Family, friends can email
How
me.
could you email a hostage and think they're giving you information that is in any way genuine?
Yeah, it's so funny.
The prisoner's been like, fucking go talk to this Mr. Who's the boss and tell him the prison's great.
Imagine being a prisoner and be like, finally my chance to talk shit about the prison. They're going to use the dog that has the most force in the universe. They're going to send it right on you.
One of the things I imagine would be quite difficult is being completely without a phone, without the internet.
If you think of something, you can't just go, I'll just Google it.
Yeah.
It's completely taken away from you. So that is hard.
The hard part about being in prison is not being able to Google. He's such a beautiful man. Why is he locked up? He sounds like a fucking history teacher.
So history teacher is hot.
He misses Google. So it should be so mean. It's awful.
He misses Google. It is so nice.
It's the best.
You know, what's the largest cat in the world? Siberian tiger?
Oh yeah. You don't need Google.
No, but I don't know if that's true.
Oh, right,
That's what I'm saying.
So it's been years since you've actually been able to Google something.
It's been almost 2 years, yeah. If I want to find something, I'll have to rumour.
It's been almost 2 years since I Googled.
Googled anything.
I think
missed that fucking sweet noise.
What is the biggest cat in the world?
Well, I need to know.
2 years.
Hey, Paul. That is annoying.
No, I think it's also just funny because he realizes he's obviously talking to a tech review guy, so he's trying to speak his language. I haven't Googled in a while.
I've seen a lot of things here that I didn't expect to, and I've learned a lot more than I expected to. So I hope you felt the same, and catch you in the next one.
What is the point of that, man?
It's
you could have
such a
just
weird video.
placed a stationary camera in there and I would have learned exactly the same amount.
Probably a lot more.
Probably more. Also, why didn't he ask what'd you do, Bob?
Yeah.
Who'd you kill?
And what language were you speaking?
Yeah. You know, if I was a prisoner and I had access to the internet, what I would be watching?
What?
Can you guess?
Porn.
Boy on Patreon.
Yes.
Not I Did a Thing. Not Mr. Who's the Boss. Specifically
Boy,
on
yeah.
Patreon. And for $5 a month, you get another video.
And that's really cheap. $5 for a video. That's like 10 hours sewing wallets on an assembly line in a prison. That's worth it.
That is worth
The video's like half an hour long.
And I think it's better than the education systems they have in prison as well.
You learn so much from us. Just $5 a month.
Come on, let's go.
We're offering a 7% equity stake in exchange for $600,000.
That means their company's like $8 million.
For Ruffle Butts?
Yes, Ruffle Butts. We put adorable ruffles on cute little tushies all over the world.
I mean, this is the perfect product to sell to billionaires. You get a kid's ass and you just show it to them. You want to give me some money? Want to give me some money? Look at the kid's ass. Look at my kid's ass.